Hello again everyone, welcome back, thanks for visiting once again. Let's just zero this out just a tiny bit, shall we? There we go. Good to see you back. Back I am with the Kotare 132 scale Spitfire Mk1a, and what a good kit it is actually. I've been very impressed with it up to now, and the only problems have been caused by me, as you've no doubt seen. So what I'm going to do is to get straight back into it with a quick recap on the fuselage. We've got that spine panel back in. I've done some filling there. Obviously the filling's my problem, not the model's problem, and I think actually you should be able to get this in without a single problem at all. But we're in there now, got it all sorted out, and it's looking pretty good so far. I've done a little bit of, tiny bit of Mr. Surfacer filling into these gaps, just fill them in with a brush roughly, and then you can rub them away with some Mr. Colour Leveling Thinner. Does no harm to do that. I don't want to eliminate the gaps completely. I want to make sure there's something there so that when you put the primer down it leaves a witness, so the panel lines are still visible, but just tidies things up a bit. So what I'm going to do is to put that to one side, and then we can go on to the next bit there, and that we'll be using in a minute anyway. So you remember the last time around I said I was going to put the oleo legs on first. Well, I've done that now, put the side panels on. There's one thing I've just noticed as well, just a few minutes ago before I started to do filming here, which was that there is, I suspect would be on your models as well, on the oleo leg, you know, the undercarriage well covers, a couple of witness marks here and here, and also there and there. I don't know, you might be able to see them, I suspect. Let's see if we can zero in on them so you can see them. When I get them into the light they show up, and they only show up under paint. Now I can't show you this very well because oh, there we go, look, there you can see them just there, look. So I need to fill them up with a bit of Mr. Surfacer. I'll do that with Mr. Surfacer 500, but I'll do that after I've done my tasks today. So spars in, undercarriage wells are in, oleo legs are in, undercarriage doors are in, the hand cranking undercarriage Johnsons are in as well, so that's all there ready to go on to the next bit, which is to seal up these top and bottom main plane sections. So we're on to section 9, and I'm going to get this done here and this done here. Let's zero out, it's probably helpful if you see that. Hey, there we go. So I'm going to put these two sections on, those two sections as well. I'm going to look at the ailerons, but there's something I need to show you on that, because again something occurred there. I'm not quite sure what, but let's get straight to it, shall we? Oh, by the way, I'm not going to put the gun barrels in. Really no need, because they'll be covered with the you know, the red decal to indicate the cover of the you know, the muslin covers, the dope muslin covers they used. So one final check here, that's all absolutely fine. I think we could probably get away even without gluing that. I don't know whether yes, I don't even think I need to glue that at all, if I'm absolutely honest. I might just put a little bit on there, and just a little bit of extra thin on the top of this here, just a couple of little dabs around here, just to give that something to adhere onto. Let's take that out and just start to put this together. Oh, there we go. So what we can now do is to very carefully start to stick this all together. In fact, what we'll do is I'll use a peg here. Yeah, I'll use a peg in that corner there, I think. No, I don't like that. Yeah, we'll just start the process along here. And then just hold that shut. Yeah, see, this is this is more difficult because these sections are yeah, that's capillaried around. These sections are quite long now. 132 scale, remember, I keep forgetting. So just hold that shut there for a second. I'm a bit concerned that pegs are a bit too powerful, and some of you watching my videos may recall when I used a peg at one stage and the glue actually managed to get underneath between the peg and the model, and I don't want to do that because the surface detail on this is exquisite. It's not overstated at all. I think it's just perfect, to be honest with you, so I don't want to make a complete mess of that. So I'm going to be very gentle with the glue here. Slightly shaky hand there, and hold that. It's going to take a little while to do this, so obviously feel free to fast forward through this if you don't want to see it. I'm more than happy for you to do that. That's not a problem at all. Wouldn't be my problem if I if I wasn't really. It wouldn't be for me to say. So there we go. So here we go. Next bit here. There will need to be some cleanup on these edges. There always is on leading edges, so we can rest assured that that's going to happen. Another quick peg here. There we go. The rest of my little chain of pegs here. Oh, there's a lot of glue on that. There we go. Confess I've been looking forward to this bit. I wanted to get this together because it's gets us to a position where we can really start to see what things are going to look like. And I think it's going to be rather nice actually. Very little in the way of oozage there, which is good. And the undercarriage legs don't get in the way to any meaningful degree either, it's fair to say, so there's not really any real problem with that. See, that's pretty much bonded up now because, you know, extra thin quick setting, or extra thin is, it sets quickly enough, to be honest with you, that it's not really a problem. Now this is excellent. Just look at this. Don't know whether we can even show you this. That tail joint there is the tail section of the wing there is just superb. It melts to almost nothing. You know, obviously it's a flap underneath there, but it's just fantastic the way that that's turned out. You're probably saying, now look, Zinners, stop bloody talking about it and get out there and glue it, you clown, or words to that effect. And just hold that shut for a minute. There we go. I've insufficient peggery to, shall we say, do both sides here. So we'll have to take them as we go. So we'll do the same thing again as we did the last time. We'll do behind the aileron first. Get that glued in. Yeah, that's fine. Lost the joint there. Such a good joint, you see. You lose it. I didn't know exactly where it was. Just hold that shut for a second or two, and then we can take a peg off from somewhere else. In fact, we use that one that's down there just now. It's hiding down there. And drop that on. So I'm making every effort to avoid overspill of adhesive onto the surfaces here, either via peg or carelessly applied brush. Just hold that down there. So again, the joints just come up really well. I know I keep saying it, it's very boring, isn't it, to keep saying the same thing, to enthuse endlessly about something, but this is properly good. It's a properly good fit. I do hope this all fits together onto the fuselage all right, or I'll look a bit of a Charlie, won't I, if it doesn't turn out how we want it. I'll take that off and put that on there. I think the thing with these is to try and not be in a hurry when doing these. It's probably a good idea. I'm sure you all know that better than I do out there in modelling land, so I overdid that glue wise, I think. Go, there's that bit. I sometimes think this glue bottle's a bit magic. It's probably had about, I don't know, half a centimetre in the bottom of it for about the last 3 years. I'm not quite sure how that's happened, but doesn't seem to get any less full as time goes by. You'll observe, the sharp-eyed amongst you, that there's a couple of little additional gaps in these wing sections, particularly where the brush is going over just now. Now that's not the model's fault, that's my fault, because I've overdone the filing off. I use one of these glass files, because they take sprue nibs off quite well and they take them off even to the surface. And unfortunately on a couple of occasions I go a little bit too far. Get a bit too enthusiastic, shall we say, and it's easily done, but there we are. So this sits away proud a little bit there. I suspect it's because there's pressure on the top of the wing section there. So I'll just take that off. That's bonded anyway, I think. Really, we're kind of there with that. So I can hold that down with a peg. Take that off as well. That's fine, that's done. I'm going to have to use the magnifier for this particular one, because I can't see the joint. Need to peg that down. Yeah, that did need pegging down, that one. Oh, I think I've left some sprue nibs here in this section here. Looks that way. Oh, I still have to clear it up in a second. That's fine. It's all good. So that's those two wing sections put in there. I'm just going to hold that down there off camera for a minute, because the next thing we have to do is to put the ailerons on. Now I've got to get something from here, because we had a bit of a problem with a bit of this. Now I don't quite know how it happened, and I just managed to catch it before I lost it. I can fetch that out there. This little tweaker here should go on to this. Let's zero in and show you. So as you can see, there should be one of them there, and this was nearly broken off, so I'm going to just glue it back on. So I'm going to glue that one back on just by holding it approximately like that. It's not going to be the easiest job to do, to be honest with you. I think that's the way it should go. To get the magnifier out again, I'm afraid. I think what I'm going to do there is get a bit of extra thin. No, I won't use quick setting, I'll use the ordinary and just hold it. Yes, that's where it should be. It's just slightly twisted. Alright, I'm going to leave that. When it's on, don't fiddle with it, is I think the secret there. I'm just going to leave that over there for a while. The light's switched off again. There we go. And let's just zero back out to that again. So we'll just take these pegs off and we can put them away for now. And we've pretty much got that done. Now we can look at these two sections here, which go in like that, as you can see, just fit pretty much straight in. And I think the secret with this is going to be doing the back sections first, and then we can put the front sections in after. That's what it looks like to me. Answers on a postcard, please. Yeah, I think that's the way to do it, isn't it? Then we make sure we get that joint absolutely right. So what we'll do, I'll do that from the inside. And try not to get our fingers too near the joint in case our glue wicks through, and just hold that there for a minute. And then we'll do the front section here. Just have a quick look at that a minute. Oh no, that's okay. Slight panic averted. Just hold that down there just for a second whilst that glue just dries a tad. That's all we need it to do. Can make that fit there. So I'm not speaking very much here because I'm trying to concentrate quite hard on getting this right. So if I get it right now, then it's probably better later. Right, need some tape there just to tape that up. Yes, I think just going to take that off camera for a minute, get some tape, and just tape that shut there. Quick look at that joint at the back there. That's just fine and dandy there. Yeah, it looked okay to me. Sorry about the magnifiers going up and down. I have to look at these things from time to time because my eyes aren't really good enough to focus in on these things without it. There's a bit of quick setting there just to get that stuck in. The better work I do now, of course, the easier it is later. So that's one of them. Right, so as you may recall, I've cut the gun camera thing off as was called out in the instructions. So we'll do the same thing as before. Good housekeeping when the glue's around at all times, as ever. I call it out just for my own benefit rather than that of anybody else. No, inside, that's what I was going to do, not outside. Don't take risks then, eh? Now you can see that if I just hold that there like that, the glue is wicked through. I think I may have mentioned at one stage I watched glue wicking through a joint. I was able to see at one stage, and it moves really quickly. It's quite amazing to see. So I'll do this front side. Just push that down and hold it, and then we'll tape that one as well because that's going to need to be right too. And I want to be as good as it can be because we are entering, I suspect, a fairly critical stage. Yeah, there's still some wickage there. Let's blow on that a minute. Yeah, that's worked, doesn't it? I know, I'll blow on the glue to make it dry quicker. I'll look like a bloody genius, won't I? There you are, I said bloody then, that's not good, is it? It's not on the swear box though, so probably in the clear, eh? Yeah, that's okay. So, a bit of tape just to secure that. In a minute. We'll do that joint first, eh? That's probably the thing to do. Now, I just apprehended a slight gap here. It is only tiny, and I can probably fill it in with a bit of Mr. Surfacer, but there is a slight gap there. Just hold that there for a second. Once that's dried, just a little bit, I'll put a bit of tape on that leading edge joint there. And then we'll take a look at those ailerons just to See how that's looking. There we go. Bit of tape on that leading edge there. If all goes according to plan, we'll be taking that tape off in a second. So there we go, in a few minutes anyway. So ailerons go that way up. I'm going to do that second, I think. I'm going to do this one first. So they simply slot in after this fashion, and what we want to try and do is make the gap between here and here the same, and God bless Kotare, because they've kind of done that job for us. Look at that. So I'm going to go in from underneath, look twice, glue once. Yeah, that looks okay. Too much glue there. Did you spot that? There we go. So you may have heard of the term elliptical wing. I'm sure that you have. The Spitfire's wing was of course an elliptical wing. It's actually made from two ellipses glued together, as it were. I'm going to have to be gentle with this because of that broken tweaker there. There we go. See, that goes on more solidly as it happens. As I say, it was two ellipses that created the wings. A shallow ellipse on the front, as you can see, and a more pronounced ellipse on the back, and they simply truncated the two and put them together. Really terribly clever. A real English boffin was R.J. Mitchell. I don't suppose I'll find any people disagreeing with me on that one. I think the bond should be good enough with that there. So there we go. How are we looking there? Let's just come back out a bit, and because I've been at 1 times magnification, now I'm back at 0.6 times magnification. Let's move that. Let's do good housekeeping. Take the metal things out of the way and take a look at that. Yeah, that's okay. So take that off, put that there. That's not been on so long, but I think we're going to be all right with that. So that's those wings assembled now, and we've got to the end of 9. Next section is radiators and oil coolers being called out, but I am somewhat inclined to skip that. I really want to put the fuselage onto the main planes, to be honest with you, and see how that goes. So as I said before, when I dry fitted this, these bifurcations tend to get in the way, but it's dead easy to put them in, and this should then slip straight on. go. And so it does. Just fits straight in. So, and the creature comes alive. It starts to look like a proper Spitfire. Yes, just wind it up to the surface there. And just, I need to make a slight pressure to get that to fit down. Not quite certain why, but I think we're getting there. Let's push back to get the best fit. That's what the instructions say. So yeah, there we are. There's a slight gap there I need to investigate, and I'm going to call a halt to proceedings today. I know you wanted me to do the rest of it, but it's been quite a long video, which is actually a bit dull, to be honest with you. But I want to quickly look at the these sections and just make sure this fits in properly, and then what I might do is glue it in on the next section. And we'll concentrate on radiator and oil coolers and so on next time, because there's an interesting little piece about putting rigging rods in and such like, which I'd like to show you. So there we go. There's another bit done. We're a step closer to completing the this cracking little aircraft. Let me just show you another thing that I'm really impressed with. Those of you who really got sharp eyes will notice, or have noticed, when you put the rudders in, or the rudder bars in, the rudder pedals, that they were not absolutely straight. They were like that. So it indicates that the rudders or the rudder pedals were not sort of straight on. But now putting this in, what do you know? Well, what do you know about that? The rudder matches the setting of the rudder pedals. That's attention to detail as far as I'm concerned. In the same way as the elevators pointing slightly downwards is matched by the position of the spade grip. I think that's really very, very good. It's been very nicely done, that. So look, until the next time we meet again, thanks very much for your time today, and good luck to everybody, and happy modelling. Take care for now. Bye bye.